Welcome back, guys, to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit, where last episode, engaging in a verbal combat with Bon Karma, we found out the supposed reason Gusto had entered Frost's room to retrieve a picture of the two suns that linked them, before being shut down by the prosecutor. But using some logic leaps, we realized that our opponent didn't even have the victim's body as the events of the past came to an end, with a loss for Gregory of both the case and soon after his life. Now, having returned to the present, we look to right or wrong now that Miles knows the truth about what really happened during the IS-7 incident, with Tangaroa still in jail unless we can find the real murderer. And a new mountain of evidence also in our possession. You know, our current case is just full of loose threads too, come to think of it. Indeed. The key players of that incident 18 years ago who just happened to get caught up in another incident. The ice sculptures in the Winter Wing that are perfect replicas of the ones from 18 years ago. The poison gas attack in the Autumn Wing, which has been disguised to look like the Winter Wing. The two chemicals that were found inside the Pisces statue's display case, ubiquium and asphyxion, that form a poisonous gas when mixed together. The victim of the gas attack, Carmelo Gusto, who is no stranger to the events of 18 years ago, and who is still unconscious and undergoing treatment in the medical room. And finally we come to the body floating face down in the fountain. And the fact that the ice sculptures have melted, just as they did all those years ago. The events of the present day would appear to be intimately linked with the events of the past, which means they may be able to help us learn more about what happened 18 years ago. Sounds good to me. Let's get investigating.
Objection!
Oh, no, you don't. Aren't you forgetting somebody? I could have sworn this is my investigation. Eustace is quite right. I do hope you aren't intending to obstruct him in his duties, Mr. Edgeworth. I would hate to have to add a guilty to my report to the committee. What am I guilty of now? Of course not. I am simply offering once again to do what I can to help with this investigation. Your offer is duly noted and duly declined. Oof, she isn't pulling any punches. The identity of the body from the fountain is currently being ascertained. It is only a matter of time until we have all the information we need. Perhaps I can help you speed that process along. I think I have an idea of who our mystery victim might be. What? Really? Then you have to tell me, it's the law! Very well. Maybe it isn't just the ice sculptures that have resurfaced after 18 years. The body in the fountain may also be a visitor from the past. Well, two clues there. Visitor from the past and still alive. You know, actually isn't like... know that we are alive like Eddie Fender's a visitor from the past, and one that can't be ascertained by just flipping the body. Narrows it down quite a bit. It's Loris Dunim! Which means it's absolutely bonkersly Artie Frost deceased. Not deceased. Which means that Artie Frost was alive for the next 18 years or so? If dead now. Do we have a picture of the floaty body? Well, look at that again.
Take that!
I believe the body in the fountain is that of the man who was murdered here 18 years ago. Maybe they put him on ice or something. Be weird, wouldn't it? It's very confusing. Mr. Artie Frost. What? You're saying that was poor Chillywinks? Wait. Who the heck is Chillywinks, or Artie, or whoever it is you're talking about? Artie Frost was a famous sculptor, Eustace. Although he was better known as Paul Halik. The sculptures on display here are all his works. No way! Sounds like he did well for himself. Always good to encounter a fellow winner. Mr. Frost was also the victim in the IS-7 incident. Ooh, you know about it. Judge Gavell knows about the IS-7 incident. Mr. Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident is an 18-year-old case. And according to police records, the victim's body was recovered and an autopsy duly carried out. Sure, that's what the records say, but the records can't always be trusted. What are you insinuating? That while the records say stuff like body totally recovered, the defense back then begged to differ. Not that it stopped the prosecution from shutting them down hard, of course. Wait. Are you two deeper connected than I... Yeah, what? Yeah. Yes, this is winner. What? Really? What is it, Eustace? The body. We've got an ID. Some sculptor called Frost or something, so I guess Edgeworth called it. Goddess of Justice! So my father's deductions were right all along. Well, Judge Gavell, I say this changes things, wouldn't you? Perhaps now you'll admit that I might be of use to this case, more than a certain junior prosecutor anyway. No fair! You're trying to steal the win! I'm doing no such thing. All I want is to uncover the truth. And if we're going to get to the bottom of what happened here, we'll need to work together. We do not need to do anything, and you do not need to know the truth. This case is none of your concern.
Objection!
Whoa there, Judge G. I think you might be wrong about that. Another of your interruptions, Mr. Fender. Yep, see, I was on the defense team for IS-7, so this case is very much my concern. I was one of the pesky kids pushing the theory that the body had actually gone missing. The prosecutor at the time may have brushed us off, but you can't deny the testimony of your eyes. Or to put it a little more bluntly, the prosecution's case was rotten from the ground up. When there's been a miscarriage of justice caused by the prosecution, it's the committee's job to fix it, no? And who better to help you unpick the mess than someone who was there at the time? Unless you have an ulterior motive? Judge Gavell seems to know the facts of the IS-7 incident in some detail. In which case, I suspect she must be here on the committee's behalf. Your connection to the case is noted, Mr. Fender, but I fail to see how it concerns Mr. Edgeworth. He's the son of the original defense attorney and the protege of the case's lead prosecutor. And if that's not enough for you, he was at the trial too. I think it's just possible he might have a little something to bring to the table, don't you? Nah. Very well. You may both assist in the investigation, but only if you refrain from interfering with the work of others. The Winter Wing is off limits for now. This room, however, is all yours. Alrighty, great to hear we're on the same wavelength, G. Why don't we bring it in to show we're all on the side of justice? Do not test me, Mr. Fender. Your permission to investigate can be revoked at any time. Duly noted, Your Honor. This is a turn up for the books, huh, Milesy? We get to do our thing after all. And thanks to your immeasurable help as always. Hey, no sweat. Besides, I was mostly doing it for me. Okay, I'll be investigating my own thing, so just holler if you find something interesting. I will. Well, okay, shall we? Heck yeah, let the investigation commence. We're still unclear on two key facts. How Mr. Frost's body came to be where we found it, and the source of the ubiquium. You're right, we need some more intel. Indeed. Let's focus on the ubiquium first and foremost. It's used in stuff like dish soap and paint, right? Correct. It's also bright red in color and has a distinctive minty fragrance. Okay, sounds like we know what we're looking for. Ubiquium. It should be everywhere. What are you looking at, sir? The body's been taken back to the lab, sir. Autopsy's underway. And how's the rest of the fountain looking? Rather beautiful, actually, sir. Water's crystal clear and kind of soothing. Almost as if there wasn't a body floating in it not so long ago, huh? I need the autopsy to figure out if the body had been frozen, that it was dead for 18 years and stored away somehow in such pristine condition, my goodness. If he was just alive for 18 years, just bugging around the place. It seems the police have already removed the body. But why did the body of a victim from 18 years ago turn up in this fountain? And why wasn't it all rotten and stuff? Did it slowly shuffle its way here? Okay, we're on the same wavelength. Need I remind you the zombies aren't real? It seems likely that the body was preserved somehow. Really? Is that even possible? Hey, Mr. Forensics Guy, anything to report? Yes, ma'am. Traces of both ubiquium and asphyxion have been detected in the fountain. I'm going to say they were probably carried here by the stream from the autumn wing. In addition to those two chemicals, there's also a large amount of sugar. The composition of the sugar is being analysed as we speak. There's sugar in the fountain. Where would it even have come from? Well, the melted statues, of course. Right? Miss Bound's tea set is laid out neatly on the serving cart. The pamphlet says the gallery is famous for its tea. Understandably so. The cup we were given was delicious. Looks like all of this stuff was designed by Mr. Frost. Interesting. In that case, I think we'd better take a closer look. Spoons! Tablecloth draped over the cart is pure white and completely spotless. That's not what I clicked. And it's just waiting for me to grab it by the edge, clear my mind, and whoosh! Okay, I cannot stress enough how bad of an idea that would be. Oh, come on. What's the worst that can happen? Even if it does go all sideways, we'll just wind up with a cool tea-coloured tie-dye. Yes, well, I'd rather it remained white. Plus, I don't think Miss Bound would appreciate us meddling with it. Really? But there are so many other colours that would totally work. Pink, sky blue, tea leaves brown. No. A caddy containing Ceylon tea leaves. It's a well-crafted tin canister designed to prevent moisture and sunlight from damaging its contents. Not a bad thing to use considering the quality of the blend Miss Bound serves. Oh, nothing more than that? Doesn't contain ubiquium? So this dishware was made by Artie Frost. It looks very fancy. Oh, it is. I'm willing to bet that this set can fetch something in the thousands of dollars. So let's try not to touch any of it unless we absolutely have to. Whoa, this stuff's really worth that much. Oh, stop it, Kay. I can see your eyes lighting up. Miss Bound must really be a fan of Mr. Frost, like Fender said to still have hit this. Words. Got a teapot. Jotted down in the organizer again. We didn't have that from the past. Oh. Hey, Edgy! Oh, have I examined all the proper stuff already? Like a moron? I wasn't thinking. What is it? You be careful with that teapot, you hear? Why is Larry so concerned all of a sudden? Honoured guests. I can pour you a cup if you like. Miss Bound. Judy! I'm good, thanks. No tea for me. You two knock yourselves out. Thank you for the offer. Yes, why not? A quick break won't hurt. 2 cups coming right up. This smells great. Wow, it tastes even better than it smells. What type of tea is this, Mr. Edgeworth? It's Ceylon, I believe. It's usually identifiable by its citrus aroma, but... Miss Bound, is this the same blend you served this morning? Why, yes. Is it alright? There isn't anything wrong with it, is there? Oh no, not at all. It's just that the cup you gave me earlier had a slightly different aroma. The aroma's different from this morning. What has changed? Really? That's odd. I used the exact same blend both times. I can't see what could account for the difference. Hey, what's the big idea? Quit being mean about Judy's tea, will ya? What's gotten under your skin, Larry? Nothing. You're just rude, that's all. You don't even try to call me by the right name. It's Maurice Donim, dang it. You know what? I'm done. I'm not talking to you anymore. Well, that was childish, even for him. Wow, what happened there? Let's ask him about it later, shall we? Talking to Miss Bound is more of a priority right now. We may not have any evidence to prove that she's the culprit, but it does seem likely that the poison gas was her doing. Some stuff on the floor as well, look at, you know? There's other things to check here. That does seem to be everything on here. There's a body hidden under this cart. Doesn't seem to be the case. I'd say this is the most pertinent bit. Those are tulips by the door, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, it leads to the spring wing. Ah, spring. A popular time to move house, which makes it open season for great thieves. Housebreaking is a little beneath a great thief, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I guess you're right. glad that I'm right. Statues of a man and a woman in old-timey clothes. Yeah, them old-timey clothes. Did Paul Elite make these as well? Yes, it seems he created them later in his life, once he had begun to make a name for himself. His wife pushed him to sculpt the two of them as ancient gods, and he couldn't say no to his beloved. The title is The Beautiful Goddess Venus and Her Humble Servant. Wow, talk about putting your goddess on a literal pedestal. It's a man with a moon-shaped head and a woman with a sun-shaped head. Man's got a real pain look in his eye, though. Is this another Paul Halik piece? Yes, from his younger years, when he was something of a dreamer. He depicted those closest to him by means of a motif taken from nature. The piece is titled, My Parents. Guess the mum shone brightest in their house. None of that is worth looking at then. What's this piece? It's a sculpture of a brave warrior battling against a serpent. Did Paul Elite make his own this one too, Mr. Edgeworth? He did. It seems he was fascinated by fantasy and mythology when he was a young man. This piece embodies the tragic yet gritty determination of the young as they face an impossible situation. It's called the Math Test. Talk about relatable. Can't look at that side. This thing in front of the door is a fir tree, right? Yes, they're usually associated with winter, but this door leads to the autumn wing. I suppose it's all part of someone's elaborate ruse. I could paint it red for that autumny feel. Evergreens stay green all year round, Kay, hence the name. Sure, I knew that. I don't want to talk to you, I want to look at this. It's a selection of trophies won by Paul Halik, or rather Artie Frost. Evidently, he was a very well-respected artist. Oh, you've got one too, Mr. Edgeworth. So it's about time I won too. Guess I'll have to find some thieving contest to enter. Or you could set something up. Something with a nice ceremony at the end, all that. Yes, followed by a swift round of arrests. That's entrapment. The door here is marked with a nice autumny-looking tree. And yet it leads to the winter wing. I suppose it's all part of the deception. I can steal the leaves if you like, make things a little more wintry. I think you'd better leave them alone, Kay. It seems the elevator is only accessible to select individuals. I wonder what's upstairs. Among other things, the medical room. That's where Mr. Gusto is being treated. I hope he's alright. We got some questions that need answering as soon as he wakes up. Since there's no way of knowing when that might be, we should explore other avenues in the meantime. Let me look at these other trophies. If I even can. Why is there a lift cart just sitting out here in the open? I guess somebody must have been moving something heavy. The top of the platform seems to be wet. You know, I've got a funny feeling I've seen this thing somewhere before. You mean like 18 years ago? Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. I last saw it in Frost's room. He must have used it to move the ice sculptures around. It's one of those fancy numbers where you can change not only the platform's height, but even its angle. If you had one of these, you could move giant lumps of ice around no sweat. A lift card has been added into evidence. Used by Frost to transport ice 18 years ago, the top of the platform is wet. Oh, just think of the possibilities. I could really use one of these. Still doesn't explain what it's doing here, though. Bit of a head scratcher, but we should give it a think, yeah? Indeed. After all, it just might have something to do with our case. Moving an icy body around? They put sunflowers by the door. Nice. A fitting adornment for the entrance to the summer wing, I suppose. Summer is also vacation time. And every great thief knows that means tourists with bulging wallets. Pickpocketing, Kay? Isn't that a little beneath a great thief? Yeah, maybe you're right. Pretty much everything is. Hey there, Mazzarino. What's the situation with the investigation? Things are progressing, and I think a fuller picture of what happened is beginning to emerge. Good to hear. Guess I better step up my game too, then. Well, we can ask you about the two incidents. This case seems to have a lot in common with the incident from 18 years ago. And how? It's got the lot. Melting statues in the winter wing and even the murder victim's body. But how did nobody ever figure out that the body had gone missing? Frost had no family apart from his son. And, well, the kid kind of vanished. Nobody's seen him since around the time of the incident. Gusto's son too. Him and his best pal from school both just up and disappeared. What? And they were never found? Gusto's boy wasn't. Not as far as I heard, anyhow. There's some kind of a kidnapping going on here. Guess Frost's kid turned up at the end, though. He collected his inheritance at some point. But yeah, with no family around just after the incident, Frost got no funeral, no nothing. So no need for the police to release the body. And no need for anybody to find out they didn't have it. They filed their fake autopsy report and nobody was any the wiser. Well, almost nobody. I still can't believe Mr. Von Karma would have stooped so low. What? We all totally believe that. Mr. Winner was very clear that you're only allowed to investigate in this room. So I'm afraid I can't let you pass. Sorry, sir. It wouldn't make much difference if you did, officer. You're standing in front of a wall. Oh, but we all know a few bricks won't stop you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, sir. Wow, he actually sounds kind of scared of you. Just what kind of reputation do I have down at the precinct? Ah, we're gonna get a pay cut again. From the color and aroma, I'd say this is a puddle of spilled tea. And look, there's a small chunk of ceramic in it. Ceramic fragment? Pool Halik. The design looks familiar. I guess somebody must have broke something. I know that insignia. And a certain high-strung somebody just might know a little something too. Oi, did you break some... Whatever. Hello there, dearie. Still investigating away, are you? Found anything interesting? No, dearie. Well, nothing much anyway. Silly girl, that wasn't a dearie moment. That was more of a lambkin. Sweetheart is when you're being sympathetic, of course, and treacherous for when they're in a tiz. Love is for people you're not that keen on. Yeah, it's weird how that is. And pedal, you use when you're trying to get someone's attention. Wow, I didn't realize there were so many rules. Mr. Edgeworth, pedal, I hope you're getting all this down. Don't even try it, Kay. Oh, dearie me. Good talk. Good chat. Enjoyed it. Don't know who to speak to next in most regards. You mind, Mr. Winner? You're in my way. I do mind, actually, and I'm not going anywhere. You'll just have to go around me. Well, we just thought you might want to move to a better spot, that's all. What better spot? I demand you show it to me at once. Is that really all it takes to make you do whatever we want? Don't think you've gotten away with anything, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be reporting your actions to the committee. Do whatever you need to do, Judge Gavel. And we'll do the same. You are the self-styled Great Thief, correct? Mr. Edgeworth's association with such a character will be of interest to the committee too, of course. Go ahead and report me to your stupid committee. I'll be the toast of the thieving community. It looks like Judge Gavel will have to think up some new threats if she wants to intimidate Kay. Quick, still the Gavel. Still the gavel of Gavel, even, sorry. Oh. I'm going to keep this simple, Larry. You're hiding something, so just tell me what it is. Whoa, quit it with the glare off, you two. It's weird. Ah, come on, Kay. You know me better than that. I wasn't staring. I was struck by an idea for a picture. Now, Edgy, he was glaring. Yes, and I'll keep glaring at you until you tell us what it is you're hiding. Quit it! I already told you I'm not talking to you anymore. You're talking to me right now. I mean, from now on. I'm not talking to you ever again, starting now. This is getting me nowhere. I suppose I'll have to figure out what he's hiding first before I can get the whole truth out of him. What are you hiding? Come on, Larry. What are you hiding? Not saying. Look, you two, this is no time for kids' games. Well, I certainly wasn't playing. It's pretty clear Maurice isn't going to talk to you. Oh, he'll talk. Don't you worry about that. I need to know what Larry is hiding, and I think I might have an idea of what it is. Perhaps presenting him with the right piece of evidence will force him to come clean. You smashed one of the teacups, didn't you, noob? How dare you? Would you mind taking a look at this for me, Larry? Why would you show me that? Tell me, what is it about Miss Bound's tea set that's got you all so agitated? If you won't tell me, then perhaps you'd prefer to explain it to Judge Gavel. Wait, don't make me look bad in front of Verity. She thinks I'm a sensible, cool, clean-cut guy. I don't want her to see the real me, the real low-down, dirty me. I'm not so sure anybody here thinks you're particularly clean-cut, Larry. But if you don't want her to think badly of you, the best thing you can do is talk to me. All right, I'll talk. All right, Larry, enough is enough. Now confess. Is this any way to treat your best friend, Edgy? Is this any way for you to treat yours? By lying to him? Hiding things? I get the picture already, so stop glaring at me like that. I'll tell you everything, okay? Earlier, I thought Verity might like a cup of tea, so I went to pour one for her. But I got distracted and my hand slipped and... smash. I broke the teapot. A priceless work of art. It's all in pieces because of me. The teapot's there. No words exist to describe how far away I saw this coming from. Ouch, you really messed up this time, Larice. See, Edgy? Everyone's going to think less of me now. Judy's never going to forgive me for this. Crying to me won't do you any good. I think you need to apologize to Miss Bound. My teapot. I see. I'm sorry, Judy. I'm so sorry. I don't have any money, but I'll paint your portrait. I'll paint you 50 portraits. Please, Mr. Donim. It's really me who should be apologizing. How could I have failed to notice that there were broken pieces of ceramics on the floor? Somebody could have been hurt. Here, let me make sure that's safely disposed of. The teapot in question was designed by Artie Frost, correct? I understand it was something you've long treasured. You must be upset. Oh, I am. But of course, all things break eventually. And as luck would have it, I have another identical teapot. It's far from the end of the world. Is she less attached to Mr. Frost's work than she used to be? I can't believe this, Judy. You're the sweetest, the kindest. This other teapot you're talking about. It's the one sitting on top of the cart right now, right? What do you mean? Yeah, so when I smashed the first one, I tried to hide the pieces in the bottom of the cart. And that's when I saw that other pot under there, so I took it out and basically switched the two pots. Wasn't there a different scent? Larry swapped the pot he broke with a different one. Oh, I see. Yep, and that's everything I have to tell you. I'll be extra careful not to break the other one, I promise. You have no shame whatsoever, do you? I'm sorry. It's really quite alright. Thank you for being so honest. See, Edgy, isn't Judy the absolute best? I trust you won't take advantage of her kindness and will make amends somehow. I sure will. Once I make it as an artist, I'm going to give her one of my paintings. She was one of my models after all. It's only fair. At this rate, I suspect he's likely to make more trouble than amends. Don't you think it would be better for you to keep out of her way for a very long while? Oh, but I will be keeping out of her way because I sketched her and the others already. Her and the others. Keen to see my work, huh? Yeah, I drew a few great sketches of some ravishing beauties. Want to see? Interested in Larice's ravishing beauties there, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm afraid you've greatly misjudged, Kay. I simply wish to see if Larry has captured any unusual details this time, too. Unusual details? Nothing's unusual about these. They're my best work yet. Really? Now I want to see them, too. Oh, you're a sweetheart, Kay. All right, let me dig them out for you. Give me a sec, okay? I suppose we might as well take a look. What about your sketches, buddy? So these sketches of yours... Seriously, Edgy, if you want to check out my art, you should have just said so from the get-go. Here, feast your eyes on this. What am I looking at here? Interesting stuff, that's for certain. The fan art. It's more about what's going on with... in the bottom. I told you already, ravishing beauties. Just a few of the fair faces that have caught my eye since I've been here, you know? There's Verity and Judy and somebody else. Why did you draw them all on the same page? Well, I meant to draw the room at first, just so to pass the time. And then I saw one beauty and another, and well, I just scribbled them all down as I went. So these were all drawn at different times. Yeah, I guess. I did one of you too, Kay. You're on a different page, though. Wow, you did? I'm flattered. How true to life are these sketches? Did you only draw what you actually saw? Of course. Do you think I draw things I can't see? Like using my imagination? Nope, these are 100% true to life, right down to the exact shade of each color. So the colors are accurate. Interesting. Much as it pains me to admit it, Larry may have provided me with a useful piece of evidence. The serving card in the sketch, for example, if I compare it to the one here in the room, there's a clear contradiction between the two. I think a little deduction is in order. Could I borrow this page for a while, Larry? Sure thing. You want me to sign it for you? Just the page, please. Sketches depicting exactly what Larry saw, except for the fact that the serving trolley, that's what I don't know what the blooming word for it is blue instead of white. And interestingly enough, another blue cloth is in the frame there, to be fair. Do you want me to deduce some stuff, do you? Well, I guess I will in time, but this picture's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Quite a scattered, but very pretty one. Sweets on top of that. Why is Kefel all stars and all that? But I like her expression. It's kind of like, that man's looking at me. Just a little bit. So we've talked to pretty much everyone in the room, except for Judy. We also have some things in the logic category that could probably be joined up now. The switch teapots and the tea smells different. Seems pretty good there. Did it smell minty before by any chance? Well, that is a question for next episode of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit. As we reach the end of another one, we have nearly investigated a full scene by the look of it. It's just worrying about, like, what will move things on the most? Me talking to Judy or me doing logic? I don't know for certain. Probably logic can be done before speaking to Judy, but we'll find out next time. So I hope you join me for the next episode as the case keeps on continuing. Until then, I say bye-bye.